guys, Crystal here, owner of Crystal's 17 Lagos Avenue, Shashi, East Legon, Accra, Ghana. Today I'm going to give my testimony, which is also my journey of how I opened my hair salon. I've got notes on my phone because it's been a journey. It started in 2018 and we're now in 2024, so I've got a lot to say. I was working at home at Mom's house and I basically outgrew the space. And I started looking for salons. I found a salon really close to where I was living, actually right by the train station, really ideal location, really good price. Put in an offer. I remember I was one of my favourite clients here at the time, and when they accepted the offer I put in, we had a drink, partying, I was getting her hair done. It was really like, it was a moment for me. Anyway, so it was 2018, just about this time in 2018 anyway, and putting it offer. The shop was previously been shops, but they're renovating the whole building. So what was unique and really great about the opportunity is that I was able to like have them put in my tiles, have them put in my relocate the toilet and stuff in that shop. I'll put some pictures up like along here somewhere, and like just kind of map out the shop and have them do a lot of the work, which was really helpful. But what I didn't know is this was going to end up taking something that should have taken like 3-4 months, ended up taking like almost a year to complete, which was really long, very excruciating, very unnecessary. Obviously I told my friends I was going to open the shop and stuff. I got a sister involved as well who negotiated, like did all his things behind the scenes. But one of the things my sister had said along the way was that he didn't really like this, the landlord, because he found that the kind of clauses he was trying to put in the contracts would hold me liable to a lot of things. And obviously, once you open a company, you want your company to be liable, not you. Which I didn't really understand these things at the time, but now obviously I've matured a little bit more in business. I understand these things. So he was, all the time he was always like, I'm not sure about this guy, Crystal, but like we can manage, or if you're happy to go ahead, then we can go ahead with it. Anyway, as time was going on, I've updates, been really good updates. Like obviously I've given him some type of deposit as well, so that holding fee, so that he doesn't give the shop to anybody else and stuff. Go on, nothing was really happening. We weren't really hearing from them, asking for updates. Emails would be replied like a week later. It was starting to look like, have you lot just chopped my money and I'm just going to be here? I spoke with a guy who I'd met at Salon International, where I actually got all of this furniture. So the mirrors, the chairs, the basins were all from this guy from Salon International. So we ordered all the bits ready for it to go into the salon and stuff like that. He said, we can keep it in storage for you until you've got a date when you're going in the shop, which was fantastic. So everything was bought. Like I think end of October, November, and we're now heading towards summer. Not much is going on. I've ordered the furniture. We're not hearing much. He's getting an attitude problem, but I'm getting an attitude problem. Anyway, it gets to a certain point, and we're like negotiating with my sister. And I don't know why I didn't really have the excited feeling kind of went, and it wasn't the kind of feeling where it feels good. It just started to feel a bit weird, and I just started to feel like, I'm not sure, but I still kind of went ahead with it. So there was some paperwork that was supposed to be signed. There was some paperwork that was supposed to be signed by either me or my sister was supposed to get back to me, and he didn't in time. Anyway, the landlord just pulled out, just like that. So we laid the floor in, we had my hot water heater, you know those massive ones you have for salons in the UK anyway, put in. He's like, nah, I'm not doing it no more. I sat there and I was just like, whoa, like it was a real big blow. As much as I kind of felt a bit reluctant about things, I prepared myself to what I was doing kind of thing. Even to get my holding fee I'd given this guy was an issue. Like, it took months to get the money back. I felt so deflated. Obviously I told my family and my friends that this is what's going to happen. Even some of my clients knew, like, we're going into a shop early next year. Like, it was terrible. Then he pulls out. So I went to Ghana that year in December. Like, obviously, I love Ghana, I've been going anyway. But I don't know why this trip was different. I made it on my, I wanted to find a way to make income in Ghana, because I come and I spend so much money and enjoy myself, but I just feel like as a self-employed person, you need to think about more than one way of making money, isn't it? Bearing in mind, all the furniture I had purchased actually, which I didn't mention before, had now gone and had stayed in the storage. So the guy who had ordered stuff had just kept it for me. Not knowing, God is so good, because had I taken that shop on, which I would have gone in maybe October, November, I would have paid a deposit, 3 months deposit up front, and then COVID hit. 2020, in 2020, January 2020, February 2020, COVID hit. So anyone with a business, especially in the beauty industry, was closed. So not knowing God had my back in that situation, but I still felt some way, because I'm like, I'd gone through such a process, but if I had listened, I was feeling some way about the shop. Something about the shop wasn't making, I didn't feel comfortable about. I kept feeling like I'd be tied down, and now I'm starting to realise, but we'll explain that part later. But the thing with Ghana is that Ghana was wide open during COVID, so I was still coming back and forward to Ghana. In May of 2021, I find a shop in Ghana. I'm going to put a video of the shop like somewhere here. It was a humongous space for a really good price. The landlord seemed really cool about stuff. Well, they all seem cool in the beginning, don't they? And he wasn't even really that fussed about paperwork and contracts and stuff, which for me, I was kind of like, it's a good thing, but can also be a bad thing. Anyway, we signed a contract, the price was really good. When I got back to London, I sent him over the deposit, and he said that he would use the money to bring the shop up to standard. So he just needed to put in a wall I wanted, some toilets, and then the shop window, which shouldn't have cost a lot of money, and he got a lot of money. He got 3 years rent up front, which actually, anyone who wants to open a business in Ghana should know that you're only supposed to give 1 year's rent up front. So he was taking the piss, which I didn't know. Actually got a solicitor involved, but it was like a favour the person did me, but they didn't explain to me that that's already the guy had started scamming me. I kept going and coming back basically. I came back, and again, not much progress. I come back and the guy's like to me, he has some guy who comes to the shop and he's like, oh, I'm now in charge of the building, and I'll be managing the shop and stuff like that. I said, okay. I get to the shop, there's some guy now sleeping on the floor in the shop. The place smells like there's all these basins put in the shop. And the guy's like to me, oh, didn't Bradan tell you the price of the shop has gone up? I said, how can the price of the shop gone up? I gave him 3 years rent up front, this shop is mine. You know, like, my jaw is even dropping. You haven't done what you're supposed to do. You've taken my money. You're now telling me I should pay you more money. This situation went on for like 2 years, going back and forth. So much so, I got to a point where I managed to get somebody else on board in the business, because she was going to take half of the shop and do aesthetics. I was going to do, the shop was really big, by the way. She was going to do aesthetics on one side, and I was going to do hair on the other side, which we thought would be good for both of us, because we both bring each other clientele and the kind of clientele we wanted. Anyway, we come to Ghana to like negotiate the price, which to a certain degree I understood why the price had gone up. At the time I'd taken on the shop, it was 7 Ghana cedis to the pound. By the time we got back and all of the kerfuffle that was going on, it was only about a year actually that was going on with this guy. The exchange rate had changed to like about 14 or 10 or 12 Ghana cedis. Like it started getting a bit crazy. So I do understand, but the other side of it was like, are you trying to bump me? Anyway, a friend helped me out. We got another solicitor involved as well, and we were negotiating the price again. And we said to him, we'll be back at such and such date to start the work. We weren't even going to come back. We were just going to get the builders to come in and start doing stuff. And then, as it was almost done, then we'd come to Ghana. So we give him the paperwork to sign. He says he's not going to sign it. I said, okay. Meanwhile, he's still got, this is a year in, he's still got my money. So you've got the money. Also, I'm noticing the building's getting taller, but my shop is not complete. Okay. So all of this is going on. I remember at one point, we were supposed to sign paperwork, and we asked where his solicitor is. His solicitor said, his solicitor told him that he's on jet skis in Accra. These people are not serious. To London, the aesthetics lady feels like this is all becoming too much. She had other plans to do some other stuff, and she's like, do you know what? She just can't be bothered with this anymore. So it's just me again dealing with this guy. So to anyone who had asked me about the shop during this time period, so between 2021 until about recently, if you asked me about the shop and I didn't say much, there was so much going on. I actually felt gagged. I felt very stupid. There was so much about, I felt like I couldn't even talk about it, because this guy's got money. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. I can't move into the shop. I'm not also going to keep putting money into something, and I don't even know if I'm secure in it as well. So then later on, he tells my friend, who was like kind of watching over things a little bit for me, is that the money that I gave him to fix up the shop, he used it for his hospital fees when he was sick. So I should bring my own builders in. If you spending whatever money I spend on the shop, he'll minus it from the rent. But I said, nah, something about this is not making me feel comfortable. My friend kept trying to convince me, no, it's good, the location, no, let's go, let's do this. I wasn't feeling the whole thing. We were even arguing so much about it. Anyway, time goes on, and I come back to Ghana, and This is August 2023. I come back to God and I'm like, I'm determined to find a new shop. I've invested my money somewhere and I've got a return on it. So I was like, all right, cool, let's work on getting a new shop. Forget this man, he needs to give me back money. So before I left Ghana the last time actually, when he started his foolishness again, I said, you know what, just give me back money. I'm not interested in you anymore. All of this, every time I come to Ghana, he changed the price of the shop. It changed, he literally doubled, almost trebled the price of the shop by the time I left. But I'd given you money, so basically the shop is mine. I come to Ghana in August and I think, is it when I saw that somebody's in the shop? I think that's when I saw that he's got somebody in the shop. So you've taken my money, you've taken money from somebody else, your shop is getting bigger, you don't want to give me my deposit, I'm here arguing with you. The way I felt, I was so upset, but I said, you know what, I'm determined to move on, I'm going to find a new shop. Went driving around East Legon, around the same area in Chado as well, didn't really find anything in Chado. Came to East Legon, found this shop, which I'll show you what it looked like before. The location is fantastic, Lagos Avenue. I don't think I realised what a gem it was when I found it because the shop was, so paid deposit, my landlord, really cool guy, he is an expat. In the meantime, I'm still trying to get my money back from Bradan, as we call him. So it got to a point, we had to get an official, and basically we had to set him up. Because I woke up one day and I was just like, why is it that I'm like trying to piece together money and this guy is basically, you just swaned off with my money, are you mad? So I called him one day and I was like, I don't have any money, you've taken my money, I'm still waiting for you to pay my money. I really went off on him. He was like, all right, come, I've got $200, that's what got me today. I said, all right, cool. So I called the official guy and told him, he said I should come. So I went with the official guy. Anyway, we ended up taking him to a facility where we had to explain what had happened to some other officials, and they basically said to him, he needs to give you that money, you're taking the piss. It's been 3 years now. Actually admitted that the money that I'd given him, he didn't use it for hospital fees. I think he'd started using it to like complete the building, and he's just taking people's money and completing the building basically. I think that week I got about a third of the money, and then a few months later I got another chunk of money. But please believe it's taken me 3 years to give me money, and the important part to note is that the exchange rate has changed so much since then. So it was 7 Ghana cedis to the pound when this happened, and now currently it's about 21 Ghana cedis to the pound. So after this now, I go back to London. I came back in February 2024. In that time I had spoken to an interior designer who agreed to do the plasterboards for me, put up some walls, like just do the main plastering of stuff. So the tile should have been laid, the walls should have been put in, and then I should land in Ghana and then we continue the work. I'd be monitoring the rest of his work. This guy didn't know what he was doing. He would say that he's doing stuff, he would ask for things lastminute.com, and I said to him, I'm in the UK, if there's anything you need from me, let me know so that when I'm coming back to Ghana, I can bring it, or I can send it before I come along, I'll send it in the shipping. This guy doesn't communicate, he's clearly very busy as well. I don't know how well educated, he wasn't very well educated, because you can tell from some of the things he was saying and doing that he wasn't doing a great job. I also, although I had a little experience in building, I don't have enough experience in building. So, for example, he did something like he got the tilers to tile the floor before the plumbing was put in. No, you don't do that, because now the tiler's now chiseling my tiles so that he can put his plumbing works in. Hey. Also that plumber as well, another headache. A lot of the delays with the shop was me as well as building issues as well. Like, for example, I feel like there's times where I should have been at the shop doing stuff, but I'm trying to be a mum. My son at the time was like 4 months old. So it was like really, really difficult, like trying to navigate. You basically turn into a new human once you have a child, because you've got to navigate being a mum. You still need to try and be yourself, and then I'm trying to open a shop at the same time. Like, and I'm in a foreign country. That's way too many like different parts of yourself you're trying to develop all at the same time. It was a lot. Like, I remember somebody asked me my son's name, and I was looking at them, I just couldn't answer. It was so bad. Baby brain is so real, it's really real. Anyway, at the time my partner's away a lot working, and so I was speaking to my cousin's husband about what's been going on. He was like, Chris, if you need me to just like handle things, I'm in construction, I can help you out. I don't know how I didn't know this at the time. Basically he comes in with his people, and it's so, I wish I could have like filmed that day and shown, because we got the interior design guy to come. We said we're having a meeting, And then my in-law comes with his people, and basically he's asking why he'd done certain things. Like they chiseled so badly at the wall at one point that they broke the wiring for the aircon. So, but I've let this guy go because he made me so angry at one point. He was even so disrespectful to me at one point. You can tell he doesn't like working with women, and that immediate thing, I'm sure a lot of you have experienced it, especially when you don't speak Tree in Ghana. Once they clock you're a foreigner, then the stupid behaviour starts. It's like having a supply teacher. Like they just start acting up, like kids who start acting silly. You get overcharged, you start doing silly things. My in-law comes in, he gets a lot of the work done at an extraordinary rate. His guy did these walls. Everybody that comes in loves these walls. The walls are so good. Anyway, we kind of got to a point where things will get done. But let's pause 1 second. Another thing that happened that I totally forgot about, so we're going to go backward and forward with this. So when it was time to ship my things to Ghana, I found a really good, I was watching this couple who had moved their stuff to Ghana, so I found this shipping company, they literally come and pack up all the things for you. Guys, I shipped a container to Ghana, not even a container, like a third of a container. What they charged me, and my things took like 5 months to reach Ghana. But God is good, yeah, because had those things reached any sooner to Ghana, I would have fitted the things in that shop. The guy would have overcharged me. The location, actually looking back on it, was not that great, and it would have been another like issue. So this is another example of delay is not denial. But honestly, there was a lot of fighting moments for me through this process, and it just has not been simple. But a lot of it is my own error, my own mistakes, just not thinking clearly, rushing ahead. I should have just taken my time and like proper spoken with God about what it is I wanted to do and achieve. And I feel like everything would have been a lot more smoother had I just listened as well, like to God, because clearly some things just weren't supposed to happen. Okay. Anyway, so fast forward, the shop more or less gets completed. We open on, I believe, the 15th of August. My first client being a family friend that I had done years ago. So it was really nice to open the shop to a familiar face. Then after that, like a week or 2 weeks into opening the shop floods. I'm gonna stick a video here. So the plumber, let me tell you something about Ghana, yeah. The plumber will say that he's a plumber. The nanny will say that she's a nanny. The mechanic will say the mechanic. But is the plumbing? Is the nanny nannying? Is the mechanism working? Is anything working? It is actually crazy. When I tell you, well, look at the video for yourself. Like the shop flooded, water everywhere. Please note, anytime this plumber came to the shop and anything he fitted, including the water heater, the basins, the small basins like in the bathroom, so everything leaked. I had to call him back so many times to like seal things off. That day, I called him, I said to him, I've never been so angry with like a workman in my whole entire life. Like I said to him, if you don't use speed to find yourself here, you're going to know yourself today. Because are you mad? I've paid all that money for things in the shop and the shop is flowing. You've come to fix something. You've broken something even more. Now there's water flowing in the whole shop. I couldn't even believe myself. Like I was just like, what? I really felt that the enemy was like sitting on my head at this time. My nanny had gone sick that week, so I wasn't, although I'd opened, I had to close for like a whole week because I had no one to look after my baby. Then the shop floods. Like my neighbour called me, somebody, the shop has flooded. There'd been delay after delay after delay after delay. Like even getting, so many things had gone like a bit wrong, or so many delays and stuff. But as we know, delay is not denial. So he eventually came. I was sweeping up water. My neighbour is so good. He is amazing. He came in, he took off his slippers and we swept the water out of the shop together. Like the plumber came when the water's even, most of the water swept up. He's looking at me, oh madam, can you, I said, I don't want to hear, clear it up. I don't want to see none of this. I don't want to see, why is there water flowing in the shop? I've just got cameras, but the TV for my security cameras was damaged. A couple of the straighteners were damaged. Like there's quite a few things that were damaged. I hadn't put my shelves up yet, so there's things kind of on the floor in the storeroom and there was water everywhere. It was wild, very, very wild. Back to the main message of this story, or to give my testimony, is that God has been awesome. Because although things were proper crazy and I almost didn't think I was gonna have a salon, like I've been fighting for so long, like even when the salon opened, it's like I didn't know what to do after, because I was like, I was still in fight mode and it's so crazy. But once I got into the right place, the way things flowed, the fact that like family members were able to help me out, the fact that even some of the builders, although they were mad people, like some of them were actually quite good people, despite all of the nonsense that went on. I met so many like amazing people as well along the journey that helped me. My landlord was so chill, so cool. Like you can tell it's like whatever, like just pay me. But what I will say to you, patience is key and obedience is key. Like I said, if you're not patient, you can't be obedient because you start to do things in such an irrational manner, or just stop. Everything becomes chaotic if you're not patient. So patience is really key. One step at a time, you will get there. And delay is not denial. Like when God has never like forsaken me in this matter. Like every time there was a denial, it was for a reason. The shipping not turning up in the amount of time it should have. If I'd had the shipping in the time that I was supposed to, I would have gone into the wrong shop, dealt with the craziest of guys. Had the first shop worked out, would have opened during COVID. This shop, like, even though it was delayed, when it did open, look how beautiful it is. The other guy had completed the shop, and the first interior designer completed the shop. It would not look like this because he didn't have no plan like this. He didn't have no plans of making the walls look like this. All delays were not denial. Exercising extreme patience, and particularly in Ghana, has been a big thing. But I'm getting there, I think. I'm trying. God's working on me. I'm a work in progress. But I say that all to say that when you're in Ghana, come and see us. We do silk presses, weaves, micro links, texture releases. We are open, and a massive thank you to all my friends and family who've supported me along the way, actually, because it's not been easy. Yeah, that's my testimony. That's how it went down. I'm gonna give the next video I do will be a tour of the shop, but yeah, that's my testimony. So thank you God for everything, and thank you guys for watching.